Hey, mate. Hold on. You're running 7th, Gareth. Well done.
So, welcome. This week's episode of Cookies Rambles was meant to be bringing you from the racing footage of Percy Pud, but unfortunately, due to the weather we've had, Percy Pud got cancelled today. So, yeah, this week I'll be bringing you from my living room. We've just got back from a walk at Scout Dark Reservoir with the 2 girls, and James and his girlfriend Alice came as well, and obviously Naomi. And then we went to Bankview Spotty Cafe at Langsett for a bit of lunch afterwards as well. So yeah, nice chilled Sunday. But yeah, Cookies Rambles might be a little bit different this week as I delve into my training week and go into some of the funny comments that I've seen regarding the cancellation of Percy Pud and the possible postponement to next week instead of this week, so the 10th of December. So yeah, join me for this week's episode of Cookies Rambles. Yeah, so as promised, Cookies Rambles from inside the house, in a bedroom though, not in a living room, because it's a little bit brighter in this room actually. It might look a bit better on camera. So yeah, this week I've had a decent week of training. I'll delve into that in a little bit later in the video, and then I'm just going to kick off to start off with about the Percy Pud. So I think it's second time I've known it be cancelled and postponed to a later time, so I'm sort of used to it, and it's a low-key race. Well, low-key but on a mass scale, so there's like 3,000 entries. So if it cancels, it's just one of those things that you can't unfortunately help. It takes place in December, so you kind of expect December you might have bad weather, just as you might have bad weather in the summer, but it might be there's more reasons for cancellations obviously in December in terms of snow, ice, and different forecasts that we get this time of year. So yeah, it's just one of them things. I'm probably a bit experienced, but might be a little bit chill when it comes to that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's just one of those things that happens in running. So I've seen some pretty cool, funny, interesting comments. I think it's just people that are nervous for the race, and there might be different experience levels to myself. So I thought I'd just read some of them out of you to kick off Cookies Rambles this week. So as soon as it was cancelled, we woke up about 6 o'clock this morning to set off at like 7:15, which I appreciate isn't early, it's not too late, it's kind of in the between. But this would a comment I saw at probably 6:20 this morning. I can't make it this week. Thank you to the organisers, so it's backhanded a little bit. My number's up for grabs if anyone wants one. for next week. So they've already anticipated that the race is going ahead next week on 10th. If the race gets rescheduled to next Sunday, when will transfers be reopened? We're all down in an Airbnb and 2 of us can't do next week. They've not even announced that it is next week. So just arranging when can transfers be reopened. If it is cancelled or postponed until next week, I've travelled a fair distance. Can you just reorganise it already? Fingers crossed for next week, otherwise this year's Christmas dinner will be ruined. Unfortunately, I have to get my Christmas pud from Asda. I've given it no thought. I didn't plan to run this. I've given it no thought in terms of cancellation. I didn't plan to run it anyway, but I find it unacceptable that you've announced it this late. So, reading now, the race is cancelled until next Sunday and you can't run. Well, you have while Wednesday evening to transfer to someone else. I'm doing a cross country at Graves Park next week, so I presume the official announcement will be made Monday or Tuesday. So this is someone that is just a participant that is kind of just doing organisation's job for them and announcing it unofficially on social media and putting everyone else in a mass panic. There was also one that I saw saying this were like on Thursday night. If the Percy Pud does get cancelled this weekend, so they'd already anticipated it, is there a plan B? So there were already people looking for a plan B before it even went ahead. There are another few more that I've seen. So I'm planning on running it barefoot. The ice and snow doesn't bother me, but I'd rather it not be gritted. Anyone want to buy my Percy Pud place? I can't make it next week. And someone has offered me a place for next weekend, and I've already paid for it. When does the transfer window reopen? So yeah, those are some of the interesting comments. Suppose when I read them back, they're not too bittersweet and they're not too aggressive towards the volunteers or anything like that. So yeah, at least they're not calling the volunteers out and the people that organise it for not doing a good enough job. There were some people getting a bit touchy last night on social media as well, in terms of not announcing it soon enough. But I suppose with 3,000 entries, you're never, ever, ever going to please everyone. So I'm just thankful that if it is next week, which apparently it's not, but apparently it is, but according to all social media police it is, I'm just thankful that I can run it myself. It is a good race, and I love it, and it signals start of Christmas for me, just because you get a Christmas pudding that I've still not eaten since 2015. So yeah, make from that what you will. So yeah, Percy Pud were cancelled this morning. Hopefully next week I'll bring you from Percy Pud's start line footage, if it is on next week. If not, it might be a week after. If not, it might not be at all. But we'll see about that. You kind of take the risk when you enter races, and it might be bad weather, so don't worry about it. It's just a bit annoying if you've tapered and using it as your air race, and you didn't do Doncaster last weekend. And that's kind of why I did Doncaster as well, because the time of year it is. Yeah, so woke up this morning, we scrolled down social media, saw that it were cancelled. We woke up at 6 o'clock, and then as soon as we saw it were cancelled, I had a text message from my dad as well saying it's cancelled, and a couple of messages in a few group chats. So then we just rolled back over in bed and woke up at 8:30. So yeah, I had a decent week of training anyway. It's been an easy week, so I was off the back of Doncaster recovering and going into Percy Pud. So yeah, enjoyed this week of training. I've clocked 92.5 miles with some decent runs in there. So yeah, kicked off Monday 15 mile over 2 runs. So that were a 10 and a 5. And then felt quite fresh, to be honest, after Doncaster. Legs didn't feel too heavy. And then into Tuesday, went up at the track again this week, so it was quite nice. The tracks, it has dropped quite considerably colder. It was icy on one of the bends, so yeah, it made for some sketchy running. I ran 5 mile in the morning, planned on 10 mile at the track in the evening, but yeah, stomach ache again. I've decided that as well as dried fruit, it's cheese, so yeah, that's not good. So I'm just a bit careful and cautious what I'm eating at the minute, because there's some not great in terms of tolerating certain types of food. So yeah, I've removed cheese ever since and thrown out the bags of cheese that we did have in the house. So yeah, I'm just conscious that it might be cheese that's also causing me a bit of stomach ache. Naomi is lactose intolerant as well, so I might just be listening and spending too much time with her. Might even be contagious. So yeah, if your partner's lactose intolerant, stay away from them. It's not contagious, by the way. Yeah, I'm just saying that. So yeah, ended up being 9.5 miles of track. The session was, I will pull it up for you on my trusty old Strava. So the session we did. Oh yeah, with that one, perfect. So it were 400s, 4 lots of them off a 1 minute jog recovery. No, a 200 meter jog recovery, and then it were 1k off a 300 meter jog recoveries, and it were 4 lots of them as well. And then it were a 200 meter off a 200 meter jog recovery. So yeah, 3 different sets with 400s in Ks, and then 200 meters with different sorts of jog recoveries in there as well. The 200 at the end were quite quick actually. My legs on Tuesday night were shattered from Doncaster, if I'm being honest with you. So yeah, they weren't on their top end of the form. But when I came away from the session, I was quite annoyed because I had to stop halfway through one of the Ks. But when I looked at my average pace, so Garmin, if you set it up on your training, when you look at your session breakdown, like your session analysis at the end, Garmin can show you what you've run. So my average pace were 5:10s, which I ran that at Doncaster. So it wanted to be a 10k session. I ran bang on 10k pace. So getting my body used to running 10k pace is ideal. Yeah, and quite enjoyed the session. There were a decent gangers there. Birdie flew out to Valencia as well on Tuesday. Wednesday morning. So yeah, I've been having some palm tree pictures. And those that have seen the video from my garden and Piper experienced the first time in the snow, the palm tree pictures, I was sending him back saying we've got palm trees as well, pal. And then into Wednesday. So Wednesday morning, woke up 10 mile in the morning. It were quite cold and went out with Kai. But yeah, enjoyed that. Just 7:40 pace, nice and easy, getting through the motions. Then in the evening, took me a while to get out in the evening because it was just that cold. So 4.5 mile, nice and easy again, 7:20 pace, nothing too ridiculous. And then into Thursday, so 30th of November, it's for everyone else, it could just be any other day. But for me, it's my streak anniversary. So run every day for 8 years on 30th of November. So at the point of me looking at it, I've got this app that looks at how many days you've run consecutive in a row. It's called Consecutive Run. And it's just a website, to be honest, that you sign up to. And it pings your data over from your Strava. And at the time of print on Thursday, I'd run 42,663 miles, 0.07 on Thursday morning in a row every single day. So yeah, that's quite cool. And it works out at 2,923 days in a row, which is actually 14.6 miles a day average that I've done for the last 8 years. So yeah, quite cool. Enjoyed that, celebrated with that. Kai came and did 8 mile for 8 years with me, so it were just an extra mile added up, but it made him a decent celebration for a 7:40 paced run for nice and easy Thursday morning. Then in the evening, didn't trust the pavements, named that on my Strava, way too icy. Planned on doing a session, and I was just going to do 30 seconds on and 60 seconds off around the roundabout, just to speed my legs up for the 10k, some sort of strides for this weekend. And yeah, didn't trust the pavements whatsoever, and my legs were turning, but it felt like I had no traction. So yeah, just nice and easy. Don't think I broke quicker than 5:20 minute mile pace, which 30-second strides, I need to be quicker than that. But yeah, it was still a decent session, and got my legs turning for the weekend. And then into Friday, meant to just be running once on Friday, but woke up extremely late because we were tired. And I just went out for a 6 mile run. Had a 9:30 meeting, so that were on Teams. Work from home on Fridays anyway. So yeah, as soon as my meeting finished, went back out and finished it. So I did 2 miles straight after that. So yeah, 8 mile. It was still all in the morning. So I'm counting it as one run, even though on Strava it says 2. And it had a bit of a break in there. but yeah, they all count, don't they? So yeah, 8 mile Friday morning, nice and easy, just getting the legs moving and keeping my streak going. Because yeah, we've got to go for 9 years now, and then Saturday back up to Barnsley parkrun again. Getting back on it there, enjoying it. Wanted to just pace it nice and easy and just enjoy tootling around Barnsley parkrun. Naomi brought Piper up and Bessie, so Piper's first Barnsley parkrun as a spectator. And Naomi weren't running because obviously she was racing this weekend, or planning on doing. So she spectated as well with Bessie, and then filmed some decent footage out on the grass watching us watching me tootle around Barnsley Lock Park 3 times. So I had 3.5 mile there. The park ran 18 minutes flat for the park run, and then jogged back home for 4.2 mile. Made for a just short of 11 mile day. Nice and easy, getting the job done. After that, went for a nice walk around in the frosty conditions at Cannon Hall, and had some lunch at Cannon Hall with the 2 dogs and Naomi. So yeah, made for a good Saturday. I'll give you a little bit of a clip into it now. Called The Ice. Yeah, I didn't sleep too well either night before Percy Pud. I think Naomi were a bit nervous, and we went to bed about 10 o'clock, and then 11 o'clock came, and I know she were either sleepwalking, but she didn't recall it this morning, or she's playing silly. But she woke up, went downstairs herself. We've got a toilet in one of the bedrooms and a toilet downstairs. In the middle of the night, if you wake up, you don't go to the toilet upstairs, because when you flush it, obviously you're going to wake the other person up. So we've got a rule where you go downstairs. So she went downstairs, and then she comes up and she's shouting at the dogs, and she came in and interrogated me with light, and then she went and took the dogs downstairs for a wee as well. But this morning she didn't remember it. But I found a funny meme that I'll clip on, and this is exactly what Naomi looks like when she's stood at back door waiting for dogs to come in. Yeah, and then on to Sunday. So Sunday, woke up this morning. Obviously, Percy Pud were cancelled. Can always rely on a pal to come running with you. So I messaged Kai and said I'm doing 15 at 9:30. Fancy it? Because yeah, I've got 13.5 to do. So yeah, went out with him. 15 mile. Naomi and Ruby met up as well, and they did 10 mile together. Just nice and easy as well. So just a slow, long Sunday run in the snow. Wore some Puma. Not Deviate Nitros, because they're carbons. Velocity Nitros. Some Puma Velocity Nitros. I call them my snowshoes because they're white. But they're a little bit, they feel a bit waterproof, but I don't think they are. I think they've got this climber cool stuff for it, so they are summer shoes really. But in the snow, I feel like I get enough grip in them. And they've not got massive lugs, but for when it's like lighter snow, you don't need big lugs. I don't like running in off-road shoes with massive lugs in snow because I'll slip more. So yeah, wore my Pumas this morning with Velocity Nitros and enjoyed it instead of wearing my Invincibles. And yeah, I just got 15 mile done for 92.4 mile this week. So yeah, a decent run, decent runs banked. Enjoyed it. First few days of December, so into last month at year now. And yeah, enjoying my running. Had a lot of good comments from Doncaster 10k last weekend, so yeah, quite over the moon with it, to be honest. Was a bit gutted it weren't sub 32, but yeah, quite over the moon with my time and just showing that the training I've done has paid off a little bit. So yeah, running into Christmas now. Hopefully we've got Percy Pud coming up sometime soon, whenever it may be, and then entering Traveller's 6. So John, who organises the race at Denbydale, is on about picking the trophies up that me and Naomi both collected first place last year at Traveller's 6. So we've had them proudly sat on his mantelpiece. So yeah, John's on about collecting the trophies this week, and then we'll probably enter the Traveller's 6. You can enter on the day anyway, and it's never going to break the bank. It's quite a cheap, cheerful local race, but they put a decent buffet on in Denbydale Pie Hall after. So yeah, if anyone fancies it and enjoys a buffet, Traveller's 6 is place to be on 17th of December. And yeah, we've got a Christmas social with the speed squad next weekend as well. Going to Brewski in Sheffield for some, looks like melted cheese, but yeah, we'll have to cross that bridge when we get to it. But yeah, this week, sharpened up my diet a little bit, dropped out cheese because I think it's causing me some gut issues, and also dropped out dried fruit. It might have just been that we're having too much malt loaf, and too much are a good thing can be a bad thing. So yeah, I'll probably reintroduce that because I do quite enjoy my dry fruit. Reintroduce that at some stage, but it does cause the same gut issues for my dad as well. So there's got to be something in his genes. So yeah, drop cheese a little bit, and just trying to sharpen up my diet so that I'm eating clean, and keeping it clean. Don't drink anyway. Don't have any alcohol, and not done since 2013. Went on a 2-week holiday to Magaluf, and yeah, that were enough to put anyone off. On a lad's holiday as well. Way too much in Magaluf. But yeah, that's that. Looking forward to I've seen Birdie's time today, ran 2:20. Pull it up exactly. Yeah, so one of the training group, Josh Bird, has dipped his 2:30 for the first time and run 2:28.40 today at Valencia. I've had a bit of honest feedback from Valencia Marathon, because I am on about doing Valencia next year. So Birdie were like, do you want some honest feedback from Valencia Marathon? Like, yeah, go on then, give me some. He's put very poorly organised, no barriers separating the crowds. So in some parts you have to run single file, and there's not one toilet around the course. So I'm assuming Birdie were looking for him, and he's put poor transport for around the course and getting to the start and leaving after it's done. But then the course is unbelievable. It's extremely packed. There's a lot of people that's fast there. Birdie were like 500th place, and he's run 2:28.40, and he's finished 475th place out of 32,500. So to say it's not a major, that's a massive marathon. He's put course is unbelievably packed. It's absolutely flat, wide pavement, wide roads. That many packs around you, 100% PB, and it's a great city and a lot cheaper than expected. So it should be announced this week. I think Sydney is going to be the 7th marathon major, and Valencia has been touted a long time for it to be the 7th as well. If Valencia is not getting it, but it does sound like the place to be. Valencia is probably not getting it because they've already got a couple of marathon majors. Well, what have they got? Berlin, Paris, London. So yeah, I already got a few marathon majors. I need to scrape up on my marathon major knowledge. So Tokyo, Boston, London, Berlin, Chicago, New York are the marathon majors. So yeah, Valencia, they've already got 2 obviously in the Europe, and then they've got 3 in America, and then 1 in Japan, which is Asia. So yeah, they're probably looking for another one that side of the world. So that's probably why they've gone for Sydney, which is a big marathon. They've had to change a bit of the course over there to make it into a major as well, I believe. But yeah, Valencia sounds like a good one. It has been on my radar for the last couple of years, but I've always wanted to get the monkey off my back at Berlin. So I might have to get to Valencia next year. But we'll see about that. Also been looking at Barcelona half as well in February, just because it's a different one, to try and get an half marathon abroad, which would be quite cool as well. So yeah, cheers for listening to Cookies Rambles. Sorry it's not been on the Percy Pud start line this week, but hopefully it will be next week. Not miffed me off at all, to be honest. So it's been cancelled. You got to do what you got to do as organisers, and I'll probably be in that position next year when start organising some races as well as part of work. So yeah, we'll we'll see what happens. But yeah, massive hats off. They've got to think about your safety and everyone else's safety and people driving there and where people are driving from, and then just think about the pressures that come with it as well, not wanting to let people down. So yeah, hats off for people actually wanting to organise it, and I think they've done a cracking job so far. And communications great as well. It seems personal when when people are posting more on social media. I much prefer that. And you got to think as well, if it were a big charitable corporate organizer, would they transfer it to a race, the exact same race? Would they be able to push their races back a week to try, or even consider or anything, pushing the race back a week? So I think they're doing a great job, even just trying to get it going ahead. Signal start of Christmas for a lot of people, Percy Pud, believe it or not. So yeah, cheers to listening to Cookies Rambles, and I'll see you next week. I've also scrubbed up on my end credits. So I've changed it this week, so take a watch of that now. Right, cheers guys, and just keep running.